Jason, how are you?
How's it going with you?
It's going pretty good. What's up?
Well, we're going to do a great interview.
Okay, I'm ready for a great one.
Ronnie Montrose, how's it going with your career these days? I see you got a new tour coming out.
Actually, it's not a new tour. I've been out for quite a while, and I'm finishing up a whole bunch of runs on the West Coast and getting ready to come out over back east. And we got one more show to do down in Southern California, and then we head over to Midwest and the whole East Coast.
What would you say, like, the life on the road today compared to back in the day? How is it now treating you?
Life on the road is always a life on the road. It all depends on how it treats me now is because of my age and because of what I do and how I approach it. But the road is always the road. You're always in a hotel room. You're always, going to sound checks and doing this and that. And it's really a question of what you do in between times that dictates and defines your life on the road. Mine is on online, going out and doing things around the neighborhoods that I like. When I find places that I can go fishing, I go fishing. I find out who fishes and things like that. So,
would you find that the internet, made this easier for today to do all this stuff?
Yeah, I would. It's a lot easier. It really comes down to word of mouth as far as individual bands and individual groups and individual people. Word of mouth and people coming back saying that show was hot and this show wasn't and this show really slammed. That gets around and that's been carrying on our shows because people are coming to see our shows and saying, well, we didn't know about it until somebody emailed or texted us or saw something on YouTube. So yeah, it has helped.
When you go on the road, do you bring a lot of equipment with you? Has this changed throughout the years now, would you say?
No, not for me and not for a lot of groups. For me, a lot of groups take, if you're doing a big tour and you're doing a specific tour, you take all your gear in a gear truck and you move it around. But when you're doing, our shows are what we call fly-ins, and so we basically bring our guitars, our basses, our things that we need with drums, and just little things, and we carry them on the planes or put it under the plane, and end up having people supply us with amps and drums and bass amps for what we need at each particular show, and for the most part, it goes pretty well.
So you're bringing any amp simulations with you, like FX and stuff like that?
No, I just bring I bring what I bring. Are you a guitar player?
Yeah, I play guitar as well.
Yeah, I can tell. You sound like yes.
We all need to know that question, huh?
It's a question. I can spot them.
Yeah, guitars. How's your guitar collection doing?
I don't have a collection. I only have guitars that I play, and I don't have anything that I don't play. I've had a lot of guitars. I've had many guitars in my life, but now I'm down to the guitars that I want and the guitars that I can use. Otherwise, I don't like guitars that just sit in a shelf and sit in a closet or sit in a storage locker that are part of a collection. I don't say that it's wrong. It's just not me. So if other people want to collect guitars, that's just fine. But that doesn't happen to be my thing.
So what does Ronnie Montrose play in now, like for amps? What's your amps of choice?
My amp of choice is when I'm in California and when I can do it and when I can make it happen. I'm really a huge fan of the Bogner Shiva 212 combo amp, and it's perfectly voiced for me. But when I have to go out on the road, it's a great amp, and it's what we call a boutique amp, and you can't get that in rental places across the country. So I think the only amp that I've been able to find that I'm not really thrilled with it, but I know that I can make it work to make me sound like me is a Marshall JCM 900.
Would you say they went a long ways?
The corner. There's an amp for every need. For anybody who wants any kind of amp, there's an amp there. Yeah, they've come a long ways.
And let's say for guitars, the vintage versus the new, how do you prefer them?
I don't really. It doesn't matter to me. I happen to play. Well, my Baker guitars are about 15 years old or so, maybe. And I have a couple of acoustic guitars that are 50 years old, but I don't care about vintage or new. As long as it plays good and sounds good, I'm happy with it.
For set lists, like when you're going on the road, how do you take care of this? with all the material you've done throughout the years? Where do you go and decide on what
Well,
songs
this
to play?
tour that I'm doing, this tour this year, and it's going to actually now go on down into 2012, is what I first had started out with is only doing all Montrose music, which was my Montrose 70s music, which I'm so happy to be playing because I haven't played it for so long, and I found that so many fans love to hear it, and now that I haven't played it for a while, I really love playing it, and it's high energy and powerful with the band that I have together. So that's all I was going to do, but then I realized with this band that I had another band called Gamma in 1980s, which was more a guitar and synthesizer and vocalist, and I'm able to do this music as a power trio as well. So it's really been fun for me to be able to do both.
When you're revisiting the old material, did it change now playing it? Do you improvise a little bit more? You
Big
do it
time.
exactly? How does it go?
Big time. Changed big time. Because I refused to do it exactly, because then I would be like every other cover band doing my songs, you know? It's like I'm not a cover band of my own material. So yeah, we improvise and jam and play it in new ways, but it's still the song, and everybody recognizes the song, and we have it fun with it as a song. But when it's time for soloing or for improvisation or just playing around with it, we never play it like the record. Say one more thing too. We didn't even play it like the record in the 70s. Me and the original Montrose band didn't play it like the record. We always played it different every night anyway.
The only thing you need is Ronnie Montrose's fingers, and then they kind of make the song go, huh?
Well, I think so, but we also have you do need a good, strong, powerful rhythm section, because without that, you don't have any backbone. So with this band, I have the best of all worlds.
One album that you appear on, which is like one of the greatest guitar tone albums in history, they only come out at night, Edgar Winter. Did you participate a lot in this album?
Oh, in as much as playing guitar on Frankenstein and Free Ride, and playing that kind of thing. Yeah, I participated, but that was pretty much a big cooperative effort for that record, and very fun to play on.
This album, did you have lots to say on the guitar tone on this? Would it be like type of tone you delivered back then?
Actually, back in that day, there wasn't really a lot to say on guitar tone as far as tone. Pretty much, back in that day, there wasn't really a lot to say on guitar tone. You just basically, every player put a microphone in front of the amp, and if it was a good microphone and a good board, and the guitar player had good hands and good sensibility about the amplifier and the tonal settings and the speakers, etc., then the tone sort of took care of itself. So it was kind of like that. Well,
let me just tell you, that's a great sounding album, and
thank you.
Must be a good feeling to have participated on it.
It's always a good feeling. It's absolutely, and whenever any of us do anything that lasts and people are talking about and we're talking about, 40 years later plus, it's always a great feeling.
Because this song, like Frankenstein, let's say, or Free Ride, they're always still on the radio today.
Yep. Yes, they are.
And they'll be there for a long time. How's your hearing today with playing loud volumes throughout the years?
I could make a joke and go, what? What did you say? But I won't. Actually, my hearing is very good, and I'm surprised, but I have very good hearing. I don't stand directly in front of my amplifiers when I play. I mean, I do, but I don't have them up at that monster level. I did it when I was younger, and to be honest with you, the thing that hurt me the most when I was playing on stage was if I got my ear close to the side axis of a crash cymbal, and a cymbal. It was the high frequencies that would hit me and sort of buckle my knees. But I'm very, very lucky that I have really good hearing these days. So.
If you can still tune your guitar, that's a great sign.
Yes, that's true, but you need much more than hearing to tune your guitar. You need feel.
That's true, too. Fishing versus guitars, what do you prefer?
There is no preference. I do fishing, camping, hiking, woodworking. I build cabinetry and build things for my friends in my workshop, and garden, and spend time with my wife and family, and everything is important to me these days.
The internet's not taking too much of your time on these things?
The internet doesn't take much of my time at all. I mean, I do have a website, and I contribute to it, and I do tweet. I never thought I would ever tweet. If you'd have told me I was going to be tweeting, I'd say you're nuts. But I do. I read. There's a Facebook site and all that, and I do read comments that people make, and I read their emails. I can't answer everyone, obviously, because it's too many great fans email me. But when I can and when I have the time, I answer emails, and I don't give it that much time because I simply don't have the hours in the day.
But today, the Facebook and the Twitter is kind of like the fan clubs of today, that they can actually see the people.
Yes, they are. You're right.
And the recording studio, do you have your own recording studio now?
I have a small setup at home, and everybody's home can now be their recording studio. Really, honestly, the only place that you need a recording studio, as far as I'm concerned, is if you're going to record a drum kit, is that you can record a full drum kit in a studio, or if you have a band that you want to have all the instrumentation and put your songs down live and play in that live environment, that's what studios are good for. But other than that, everybody can make great records at home.
Iron Maiden covered one of your songs, "I Got the Fire," a while back. I'm sure you're aware of.
Oh yeah, I am.
What do you think of a band like Iron Maiden taking one of your songs and making it their own?
I think that any band who takes, I'm very pleased, because anyone who takes a song, it's just a sincere form of flattery and appreciation. I like it.
Is there songs today that you get bored of playing, or is it all great now?
No, the songs that I play right now, I never get bored with playing, because I never put myself in a position to be bored. Like I was saying before, I always keep myself entertained, because the most important thing for me when I'm playing these days is for me to have fun. So I don't ever go through. Any time I play, it's never going through the motions. It's always playing it here and now, and really keeping myself on my toes and my bandmates on their toes.
Now, Ronnie, is there going to be a new live album in the future, or an album in the future?
I don't see an album in the future, but I do see a new live album, and I don't know when, but there may come a time when I will want to do a recording and document. I'm having so much fun with this band that we may just document a live show, and strictly for the fun of it. And because I have other things that I want to do as well. I have a whole world of electric instrumental guitar music that I'd love to go out and do a tour with. Put a different band together and put that thing together. And I also have this vision of doing an acoustic performance, which I've done before and have had really good success with. But it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of energy to do something like that, and certainly not something that I can do because I plan to have a full band with the acoustic guitar and a full sound system and sound lights and quad sound and the whole thing. But that takes time. So I had planned originally on doing that starting in 2012. But honestly, this band I'm with now, we're having so much fun that I'm going to probably take it on into 2012 and do shows in the States here, and then if it works out right, towards the end of summer and the fall next year, head over to Europe.
Well, Ronnie, it's been a real pleasure talking to you about all the latest news and all that. It's good.
Yeah,